Okay, let's see here. Well, that's already saved, so let's try YouTube to keep the hype train moving. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It's happening right now. So there's that one. And then let's put her on Twitter. Because did you hear him doing a live stream on YouTube tonight to keep the hype train moving for Star Wars: The Last Jedi? Really, it's happening right now. Tweet. Okay. I believe I have everything ready to roll over here. I've got things shared around so that people actually know that this stream is happening. It's great. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Zach. I have not been around for so long because, well, the typical thing that happens at the end of November and going into December, exam season, but thankfully I am back. I am so glad. I need to jump this down a little bit. There we go. Cool. Now I am actually in frame. All right. The bulk of this video is definitely going to be focused on Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It's premiere night, which means theaters all over, or at least Cineplex as far as I know, are going to be having showings for Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the 8th installment in the Star Wars franchise, if you don't count Rogue One or stick it in between 3 and 4, where it falls into the timeline. Before I get to that, though, I want to highlight my first partnership deal. This hoodie is from Design from Africa. It is a clothing company in Moncton, New Brunswick that I have I was able to reach out to them, and how do I want to say this? See, this is how you know this is my first partnership endorsement deal. I don't even properly know how to promote them. This month they sell tank tops, they sell t-shirts, they sell hoodies, and they use these as means to build bridges between cultures. All of their efforts are going to be going towards allowing people to get jobs and give them a sustainable income rather than just donating money to them that will last them so long but not continuously. So that is what they do. And until December 22nd, you guys can go onto their website. I'll have it linked down in the description. designfromafrica.com. And 30% of each order is going to be going to Nazareth House Incorporated, located in Moncton, New Brunswick. Now, the office is in Moncton, but they will ship worldwide. That means if you are ordering from, let's pick a random country, Cambodia. If you order clothes on designfromafrica.com and you live in Cambodia and you want them to arrive at your house in Cambodia, hypothetically, you can do that because they do ship internationally. So I really, really want to highlight that, since there is about like a week left in that time frame, and it's an amazing cause to be able to give to people who might need a little extra joy over the holiday season. So, and in general, they're just really nice clothing. I mean, this design, when I first met the representative from Design from Africa who came to Crandall, of all places, I was intrigued first by this, like the whole funky design that, correct me if I'm wrong, is based out of Africa. And then that got a conversation going, one thing led to another, boom, here I am. I will say that these hoodies are very warm. Like, yes, I'm in an enclosed room. Yes, I have a lamplight streaming on my face right now. But even when I put this on earlier, when I was sitting up in the living room, I was warm. The t-shirts are made of really, really smooth material. The sleeves are a little bit short, but if that's the kind of style you like, then it's all gravy. All right. Now that I have successfully given my promotional to you guys, we can start talking about Star Wars. Because there's... oh man. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Can we see, are we able to see who we have watching here? I don't know. Show live chat comments. Hey, what's this? Oh, those are filters. I don't want filters. I've never done a YouTube live stream from my phone before, so things look a little different, and I guess I'm just distracted by things. Okay. Star Wars, Last Jedi. I'm going to preface this and say that I am not the biggest Star Wars fan. I enjoy the series. I get fully into the universe. I'm just not the person who's gung-ho all for theorizing Star Wars, debating Star Wars, really the essence of what makes a hardcore Star Wars nerd a hardcore Star Wars nerd. But I do really like the fantasy aspect and where they're going with the story. Like, after the first 6 films, no one was really sure if things were going to continue. Then Disney got a hold of it, which opened up a plethora of possibilities. Especially since just today, more news about them dropped, but I'm not going to get into that because there could be an entire new hype stream based off that alone. What I am looking forward to in this new installment of Star Wars is how the scenes from the trailers actually play out. I thought it was very interesting watching the first trailer, and the editors, you know that they were meaning to make things seem in a separate light than they are. For example, that very last scene where I think it was Rey says, or it is Rey speaking what kind of sounds like in her head, but it actually, like, the way it's edited looks like it's actually going through her mind at the moment. She says, I need someone, I like have all this power and I need someone to show me how to use it, or something to that effect. And then we see Kylo Ren saying something to the effect of, I know you're searching, let me help you. And the next shot you see is him extending his hand. But, see, this is where that editing comes into mind. People went crazy over it. They were like, oh no, Rey's gonna go to the dark side. What's going on? How could this happen? I don't think so. You see, the backgrounds in those 2 little clips has me questioning the authenticity of what's actually happening. In Rey's background, it's just straight black. Like, there is nothing else there. There might be a little, like, flare off in the corner, but for the most part, it's just her. When the scene switches to Kylo Ren, however, you can see flakes of fire falling down behind him or just staying in place. That little feature is the biggest key thing to zone in on, to understand that these are not the same scenes, and Rey is no doubt not going to go to the dark side. What I do really love about the recent Star Wars, the recent Last Jedi trailers, is that they show more of Luke, especially with Rey during her training. He says, "I've seen this raw power before. It didn't scare me then. Now it does." Like that, I find that interesting because Luke has basically, like, I think I'm repeating something that another creator has said in their, like, trailer breakdown videos, but the fact that I lost my train of thought means I should have notes for this. But these are all thoughts off the top of my head. If you guys have any ideas or any hype that you want to express about the trailer, feel free to leave it in the comments. And I don't think many people have already seen it. In fact, most people who probably are going to watch it tonight are there right now. But let's keep this a spoiler-free zone. Everything I'm going to say is basically from the trailers. If you've seen the movie, don't spoil it in the comments, please, because that is probably one of the worst things you can do. Now, what was I saying about Luke? It doesn't scare me then, it does now. Well, I guess it's basically just that we get to see a lot more emotion out of Luke, rather than just him standing on the edge of Star Wars Island and holding his hand out to take back his lightsaber. We really get to see what Luke's like after he's been gone for so long. I say so long, like it's been like... technically speaking, it has been years, because the sixth movie came out decades ago, and Luke was still, like, young adult age. Now Mark Hamill has clearly grown up, reprising his role as Luke Skywalker in an older age, and he was gone for, that one of their main mission in The Force Awakens was to find where he is. If he's been in seclusion all this time, one can only speculate what he's been through. Luke Skywalker is definitely a changed person, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those changes are like in this new movie. I'm looking forward to seeing, wow, I'm blanking on his name, Finn. I almost said Poe. I mean, we're going to be able to see a little bit more of Poe too, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Finn take action in this movie. Because in the trailer, there is a small little clip when he and Captain Phasma are fighting. Whew! And you know Captain Phasma is... whew! She's not happy. Like, he was one of her soldiers, and he ditched. He just, like, up and left with a scavenger on Naboo. Like, that's... I want to say, from the First Order perspective, that's punishable by, like, death or something. So Captain Phasma's pretty mad at Poe, pretty mad at Finn, probably really mad at Poe too, because he's part of the Resistance. And they're gonna have a little chit-chat and talk about their feelings with lightsabers and electrocuting stuff. That's gonna be very interesting. And just remembered, because I actually I thought of the porg first, and then I remembered that Chewie is beside the porg in that small little clip. Who's driving the Millennium Falcon now? Like, that was Han's ride for so long, and now that he's gone, like, who's taking over? Is it Rey? Is Rey in the driver's seat in that small Porg and Chewie clip? Or could it even be Poe? Does Poe upgrade from his small fighting machine to the grandiose Millennium Falcon? Like, I think that would be really neat. And possibly make a lot of sense because Poe and Han, they, like, when you look at it, I feel like those two kind of have one characteristic that is similar, and that is the drive to prove themselves. Han, in his movies, he was one way at first, and then when Luke says that line of, like, oh, I guess you're taking off, doing what you're best at. Like, that must have, like, got him right here. That must have really sunk in. Because then he comes back around, and then he's with them for the remainder of his time. I don't want to say same thing as Poe, because, again, this is just a recent movie. The Force Awakens, I mean. So, I don't want to say that Poe needs to prove himself because he deserted his comrades, but I definitely feel like Poe does want to, like, elevate himself to that status of a great fighter and a great flyer. So taking the helm of the Millennium Falcon would definitely help him to do that. But we're really just going to have to see. Reply to a comment. Oh. Sorry. Hey, Kaylee. How's it going? You are the first person that I actually know has been here, because no one else is commenting anything. I'm just going to answer my roommate Jordan right quick. Nope. New post. There we go. I've got Facebook open at the same time I have Twitter open, so just to kind of monitor things if anyone's saying that they're going to pop in or not. Oh, let's see. What else in The Last Jedi could be interesting? Well, I mean, okay, yes, right. Wow, I can't believe I didn't think of this from the beginning. Carrie Fisher. We do see a little bit of Leia in this film, and I feel like that is going to be a tearjerker for Star Wars fans everywhere, because though she's in the movie, Carrie Fisher's no longer with us. Like, an iconic figure from Star Wars history and a role model to countless girls across the planet. That's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward. Hey, cool. Star Wars videos added me to a list. Star Wars. Sick. Okay. Yeah, like, people know for sure that Carrie Fisher is in the movie, and they're going to be impacted by that. Like, that's just the reality of what's going to happen. I think, like, it's a fantastic move. Like, absolutely. I mean, considering it's following on the heels of The Force Awakens, they can't really do a Star Wars follow-up. without having an end to Carrie Fisher's legacy as Princess Leia. But yeah, it's gonna be a thing. That is, oh, the Big Mac. Yeah, Kaylee and Big Mac or Mackenzie were counselors that I worked with over the summer. I actually saw her last night, funny enough, or not last night, Tuesday night at Unlimited Soul. So, hey, Big Mac. Man, I am trying to be emotional over Carrie Fisher being in the new Star Wars movie, and you're just jumping in all chipper and all friendly. But it's good. It's good. We need that. We need to keep things light. We need to keep things happy. Can you guys hear that when I bang on the desk? I noticed in my last live stream when I was talking about the movie title release for the next Fantastic Beasts movie that I was doing a lot of hand movements. Now this is a lot easier because you guys can only see like, where is it, like this part of me, so like chest up, so you can't see my hands going over the place. It also helps that I have a glass of water to keep myself steady. But I significantly need to cut down on my hand flailing in these live streams. Something to work on. Because, like I said before, like the live feature for YouTube streaming has only really been available to all creators for a short period of time, since I'm only sitting at like 506 or something. I was not permitted access to the beta, so yeah. YouTube live streams. Gotta love them. Even I don't think that was right. Anyway, getting off of that. BB-8's coming back. Oh, I love that the first Star Wars trilogy, well, really, the first Star Wars trilogy and the prequel trilogy that few people will actually accept as being legitimate Star Wars movies. They found love with R2-D2, and the next generation of, or really that generation of Star Wars fans and the new generation of Star Wars fans are falling in love and have fallen in love with BB-8. They have the app-controlled toys that you can drive around, and they look a lot more difficult to control than you'd think because of like the fact that they are just, it's a ball. It's literally a sphere. It's a hemisphere on top of a sphere, and somehow you're supposed to keep those two bits connected. Like, I know there's magnets and stuff, but BB-8, wonderful, wonderful successor to R2-D2. And I'm excited to see more of him in this movie. I know he's mostly, no doubt, going to serve very similar purposes as R2-D2, so he's going to be in his little section of post-fighter, guiding where the ship is going, and maybe even using some lasers. I think R2-D2 did that. Maybe. So if we see BB-8 come out in R2-D2's role with Poe, that's going to be fun. Just flying in general and cute robots that whose only form of communication are sounds. Like, you can do a lot of emotions with facial expressions, but translating emotions through sounds, like that, I can only imagine what the voice artist for BB-8 had to go through sitting in a sound booth for God knows how many hours recording X different ways of beeping. Like, and I'm going under the complete assumption that they do have someone actually giving the sounds for BB-8. I mean, like, it's possible for R2-D2 if you can have him screaming like, wow, that was bad. Okay, nope, 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 nope. Next, that not doing BB-8 impressions. If you can have a person do that, that's very impressive, and I severely hope that that is what they do with him, are doing with him, because this is his second movie. That'd be great. Keep computer-generated stuff to the special effects. Keep the robot noises as someone's actual voice, because that shows talent. And there are a lot of talented voice artists in the world who can do stuff like that. And I'm not just pointing at YouTubers, Brizzy Voices and Brian Hall. And I think Tara Strong might also be on YouTube now. So hey, you don't have to go far to find awesome voice artists on YouTube. What is this stream turned into? It's supposed to be Star Wars hyping here. I'm supposed to be Star Wars hyping, not YouTube stuff. What am I even talking about? I don't even know. I'm everyone. I have had a long day. Like, my Instagram story, I tried to keep it updated today. I've actually been trying to keep my Instagram story updated for, like, consistently for a while. And I think I'm getting the hang of it. Today, I actually I give my whole spiel about designs from Africa and run down what I was going to be doing. So I went into town to do some Christmas shopping. I was in at Slate Youth Center for senior drop-in. And then I had to walk home, which was a very, very cold walk. Like, winter here does not really have snow, but we have cold winds. And when you have to walk like 30 to 40 minutes back to your house with the wind coming at your face and your scarf is like tucked up either here or even above your nose, then yeah, it's gonna cause some issues for your body temperature, especially when the wind goes right through you. Ugh. If you guys are watching this after after the live stream is done and you have seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, please let me know what your thoughts on it are down in the comments. I'm going to see it myself on Saturday with my dad. He is also a big Star Wars fan, and I'm in a mood to celebrate. I got all my papers in more or less on time. My last one I got in on time and reached the page count, which I thought was really neat. And I didn't have exams this semester, which was really surprising. None of my courses actually called for an exam. There was either like a reflection paper due every class, or like a service project, or like a take home. Because of all that, no exams. So I got to come home on Monday, and that was just so nice because I could focus at home in the comfort of my own living room. It was so sweet. But that is enough rambling for right now. This is already going on half an hour long. I didn't actually think that I could hype about Star Wars for that long. That's more like a Harry Potter thing for me. But nevertheless, thank you to those who have tuned in the live stream and sat through everything post-stream. Your support means so much to me. I really love being able to geek out over these Star Wars-y fantasy type things, because that is my wheelhouse. I love being a nerd for all of this stuff that helps me express my personality, what I love in the world, and that's what I want you guys to be able to do too. If you love something so much that you can't help but share that passion with others, do not be afraid to let that out. Do not hold it in. Embrace what you are truly passionate about and express that to others. And someone's gonna bite. Someone's going to see your enthusiasm, see how much you enjoy something, and they're gonna want to be a part of that, or really just ask, how do you do that? How can I have this happiness that you find in something the same way you do? That is what I always try to relay in my videos, whether that's in a neatly edited format or in a very rough live stream that I'm still trying to figure out because of the whole YouTube mobile streaming thing. Passion. Express your passion. Embrace your passion. Express it to the world. Everyone who believes in me and wants to support me in that message, don't forget to subscribe. I do videos this year once a week on Thursdays, usually coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. While English is hard, guys. While I am on Christmas vacation, I'm going to be doing live streams on Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys will stick around for the next few that I'm going to be having before I go back to university. In the meantime, live to be different, be who you were made to be, and I will see you in my next stream. Bye. And finish. No, finish.